Hi Sequels friends, it is the first Friday of a new month and you know what that means. It is time to talk about May sales. So I'm going to give you not only my gross sales, but right on down to the net, how much I put in my pocket, my best-selling items that grossed me over $20, and break down tried and true Heather spreadsheets that show you the breakdown by category and platform. So if you want to deep dive into the nitty-gritty of what May sales were like for a part-time reseller, then just keep on watching. Hi Sequels friends, it is so wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are new, my name is Heather and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Etsy, and I use this YouTube channel to document my journey. As I said in the intro, we are going to talk about May sales. So I've broken it down into some categories, and if you're new here, I constantly look down because my spreadsheet cheat sheet is down here. So I've bullet pointed a lot of items here to go over with you guys. Some things are wonderful and I'm so proud of myself for. Some things could use some work, and some items I just need to continue and keep on doing what I'm doing. Keep on trucking. So let's talk about some of the things I'm proud of. Overall, in the month of May, I sold 2 items that were over $100. If you saw last month's video, and if you didn't, I'll post it above and below if you do want to check it out. But last month I sold 3 items over $100, and this month I sold 2. So it makes me really feel confident that I'm beginning to really source the right things to increase my average sale price. 24 of the items that ended up selling sold in less than a month. Again, I must be sourcing the right things as they're coming in and going out quickly, which is what I'm always looking for, not only as a part-time reseller who likes to keep my inventory fresh just for my own excitement, but also as somebody who has a very limited space and not a lot of area to store things. I've been wanting to get my average net sale price out the door at over $20. Now I haven't made that goal yet, but the last few months I am getting exceedingly closer to it, which means I am headed in the right direction. Last month, my average sale price came in at $18.36, and this month it came in at $19.06. So that is a 70-cent increase. Any increase I'm happy with. I am really glad. Some of the strategies I've put into place, like putting that little column on my spreadsheet that shows me how the average sale price is calculating with every sale, is really helping out. And another thing that I'm really proud of myself for is another goal that I had for 2020, which is to get my inventory over 500 items. And I'm happy to say for yet another month, I have maintained an over 500 unit average. So that we are still going strong with. Now some of the areas to improve. If you've been watching any of my videos this year, you know that I have had pretty much record sales every month of the year besides one. Well, I was worried and concerned about keeping up with that momentum, and I had kept it going, but this month I have not produced an increase, and I'm pretty bummed about it. That's okay. We know sales typically do drop when you get to the summer months. There are a lot of people going out on vacation, especially since things are opening up. There's always a lot of planning for saving money because you're gonna be spending a lot on back to school in the upcoming months. So I need to be very conscious of this going forward and implement some sort of new strategy to ensure that I can keep my sales up. So I'm gonna have to try some things throughout the summer to see if I can get back up to where I was. Overall, I did have a decrease of 15.6%. My sales came in net at $1238.96 versus last month's record. My last month was a record-setting month, highest month ever, versus last month's highest month ever at $1468.50. I'm just about at January's numbers, so at least it's not the lowest month ever, because February is a pretty big stinker. It's going to be harder to go lower than that, although I should shut up and not jinx myself since summer is coming up. But I am a little bummed. Actual unit sales came in at 65 units versus April's 80 units. Now, it would stand to reason that I'm selling less units because I made less money, but also remember my average sale price went up. I did have a decrease in ROI, that is return on my investment. It is back down to 63, which it has been in months prior. 3 of the items out of the 65 items that I sold took over a year to sell. Yes, if you didn't see last month's video, I am trying to do better about tracking my sales. I want to keep better records on how long it's taking to move things, where the bulk of my inventory is that I sell, how long does it take to move, what are my stragglers, outliers, how long are they sitting, and just to be more conscious if I'm actually turning my product well. 12 of the items took over 200 days to sell, and I just want to reiterate that because I do typically mark down at the 9-month mark, and that would be about the 7.5 month mark. So it is interesting to learn that I think the 9-month mark of marking down is probably right, because I still have 12 items going out the door at regular price just a month or so before I mark down. Here are some interesting random facts. 42% of my total sales netted over $20. 42%. That's how we know I'm getting a lot closer to that $20 average sale price. Last month, it was just 25%. Huge increase there. 10% of the 27 items that netted me over 20 bucks. No, not 10%. 10 of the 27 items that netted me over 20 bucks were vintage items. That means that made up about 37% of the total. I know I've been preaching it heavy since the new year, but vintage really helps bring in some dollars. 12 of the items sold on Poshmark, 12 of them sold on eBay. Pretty even split for the high dollar value items. But also interesting to note, 2 sold on Etsy and 1 sold on Facebook Marketplace. And when we get into what sold, I'll go a little bit more into dabbling on Facebook Marketplace. Now, looking at total sales and not just the over $20 sales, 18% of the total sales were vintage items. 8% were clearance items. My clearance items, as I said before, I take at the 9-month mark and they go straight to 55% off, because I figured if they are not selling in the 9 months, I've revamped the listing multiple times. I usually renew something every month, and I usually revamp the listing every quarter or so. So these are just items that are stale. Maybe I didn't thrift the right thing. Maybe they don't have a huge following, and so at the 9-month mark, I just want it out, get the hell out of my inventory, so I mark it straight to 55%. And to be honest with you, I take offers of whatever gets it out the door, hopefully by making me a little profit. I mean, we're talking sometimes on these items, I make $2-3 profits, which to me is still good because you're not in the red, but obviously they were not good items. Now overall, I'm selling at about the same rate as I was the previous month, and it is taking about 3 months for items to move out the door. I'm curious to know how quickly items typically move for you on average. I've heard a lot of people say it can take a month or 2 before they feel like the algorithm really picks up on your items. I've heard a lot of people say that if you stop listing 1 month, it could take 1 or 2 months before you feel those effects. So I'm curious if that 3-month mark is hitting it for a lot of people. Do most of your items sell in 1 month, 2 months, 6 months? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. So let's get into sales by platform and category. It wouldn't be a Heather sales monthly update without these charts. Let's talk about sales by category first. And let me make sure this month that I'm talking about the right month so I don't have to do a voiceover. Sometimes it's good to make mistakes because forever now from this point on, I will always double check that before I give you the numbers. So highlighted in sequels pink are the categories that I think performed the best. And that is usually because they made me the most money. And then highlighted in charcoal gray are the highest sell-throughs, which means categories that I need to be very conscious of sourcing more of. So let's talk about the pinks first. Overall, dresses, 12% of the total dollar sales, and look at that, on 6% of the total inventory. Whenever those percentage to dollar sales are higher than the percentage to inventory, that means you have a category that is bringing you in higher dollar amount per item. That means your average sale price in this category is probably higher than others. Next up, home. Check it out, 17% of the total dollar sales on 11% of the total inventory. Not surprised at all there when you see my what sold video. There's a high dollar appliance item in here. Men's tops, I tell you what, that ThredUp box that I purchased is really moving through some items. The second one, and I ended up selling 11% of the dollar sales on 10% or 15% of the units. Now, when the unit percentage is higher than the dollar percentage, that means you have to make more units to get those dollars, which means your average sale price is a little lower. But why would I expect men's tops to be any different than women's tops? I always got to move a lot more to make money. But tops move, so what are you gonna do? Shoes made up 17% of the total sales on 12% of the total inventory. Shoes and dresses are always two of my best performing categories, followed by tops and followed by home. Look at that, all of them are in here, with tops being the last category, making 10% of the dollars on 15% of the units. So not too shabby there. Now, if we check that sell through, like I said, I sold through 33% of my intimate inventory. Well, I only sold 2 items, but guess what? I only have 6 left, so it's too much. I'm selling through at a higher rate than what I have, so I really need to be conscious to go out and source me some intimates, which in my case means it's time for me to hit up multiple Goodwills in my area, because that's where I usually get those for the best price. Men's pants, I sold through 25% of my inventory, again because I only sold 2 pairs, but I only have 8 left over. Clearly this is not a category that I am well versed in or well sourced in. I've just basically been experimenting with my last 2 ThredUp boxes, so I definitely need to be on the lookout for men's, and I cannot be overlooking that category when I'm out thrifting in the wild. Men's jeans, I sold through everything. Need to pick up some more. Men's shorts, I sold through 50% of my inventory. Clearly I don't have any. And men's tops, I sold through 37%. Let's talk about the sales by platform. As per usual, no surprise, no change there. The majority of the sales came from Poshmark with 40% of the sales. eBay is creeping on up there and has been steadily throughout the new year, and we are at 32% of the total sales on eBay. Etsy had 4% of the total dollar sales, and Facebook had 9% of the total dollar sales. Yes, 2 items had 9% of the total dollar sales. I am still doing that. Hey, can I make money? Can I make money by selling stuff around the house? And that video is coming up. I keep teasing it, but it's coming up really soon. I actually have it in the works, but damn it if I'm gonna post it until I show you my spreadsheet video. Because here we are, another sales month, and I'm showing my spreadsheets, and you guys are gonna be yelling at me for not giving you that video. So that one is actually up next, but following that one, I expect to show you where I am on my can you make money selling items around the house, where I just picked a bunch of random shit around my house that I'm not using or that my partner's not using, and over the last few months since the beginning of the year, I've been putting it up at various times on my platforms, whichever one see fit, and I am moving some stuff. Okay, now to the part that many of you have been waiting for, and maybe many of you fast forward to and use my timestamp below to get to that. And here are my best selling items. Every item that netted me over 20 bucks this month. starting out with which items sold first, because I'm just going down my spreadsheet here. So first up, Newport News Jeanology jeans. I love these jeans. They have such a cool silhouette to them, and I do believe that they're vintage 90s. I got these in my last thread up when I got those 2 big ass boxes of denim things. And I ended up selling these on eBay for $46.09, but after cost of goods, platform fees, and shipping, I ended up netting $28.30. This is an item that I wouldn't normally pick up, but again, many resellers are telling me that these tapestry blankets sell for them, and I gotta tell you, this one sure did. It is new with tags, and it is a Riddle home and gift tapestry of Salem United Methodist Church. I put this up at a ridiculously high price based on comps because I kind of wanted to just see, and I'm glad I did. I started it out at $59, and I took an offer for $47.99 on eBay, so that is with shipping included. After shipping and cost of goods and platform fees, I ended up netting $29.53. Pretty darn stoked about that. Lucky brand black leather flats. I sold these on eBay as well. I believe I got these at a Goodwill further west from me. I like to go thrifting further out where there's less population, because sometimes you can really find some cool hidden gems. And I ended up selling these for $47.99 and ended up netting $29.54. Up next, this vintage Anye leather shoulder bag. I love me some Anye. I would guarantee I got this at the Salvation Army because they keep me in vintage Anye stock. Sold it for $48.99 and ended up netting $23.80 after shipping, platform fees, and cost of goods. This beautiful linen suit from United Nations I got at the Salvation Army. It only cost me 99 cents, and then I sold it, or I took an offer for $35 on Poshmark, and that is how I netted $25.51, because my cost of goods were 99 cents, and that's why I love me some Salvation Army, because they do the 99 cents day, and I have a Goodwill with the bins, and they don't do any sales because they got bins. Tory Burch Miller sandal. If you watch my thread up shoe, the latest unboxing, I got these beauties in that box. I had them listed for $169, took an offer of $149, netted $112.53. I'm pretty happy with that. You've seen this in several of my videos, a ship with me video and my thrift store haul. This was a great find at Goodwill. I ended up selling it for, took an offer of $44 off of $49 and ended up netting $28.01. This vintage shower curtain, I believe I did it in a ship with me video as well. This was some new little hole-in-the-wall local thrift store that I went to that had some crazy ridiculous vintage stuff. I love this shower curtain, picked it up. It only cost me 75 cents. And I had to have it because it's vintage gorgeousness, even though the grommets on it were missing. I took detailed pictures of that and disclosed it. Hey, if you love vintage things, you probably have no problem popping some grommets in here, or maybe they were using it for a different purpose. I don't know. But it ended up selling on Etsy for $41.73, and I ended up netting $24.51 after cost of goods. Carhartt men's overalls, I've talked about this in a couple of videos as well. Had them listed for $59, took an offer of $49, sold within a day, netted $36.70. These rhinestone thong sandals from Vionic. I've heard several people talk about this brand. If you see them in the wild, I would definitely pick them up. These did have some wear to them, but also still had a lot of life in them. Got them in a thread up shoebox, I believe. And yes, based on the cost, it had to be thread up. Sold them for $45.99, had them listed for $39 with shipping, so the buyer paid full price, sold within 1 week of listing, and I netted $27.53. Great turnaround, over 20 bucks net, definitely pick up in the wild. This rare Gymshark gray logo snapback hat, I got this in a unclaimed baggage bag. Their stuff comes in bags. I want to say box, but their stuff comes in bags. And I bought some women's sweaters, some women's tops, and on a whim, I picked up this baseball hat bundle, and I gotta tell you, it was the best selling items by far. Every single one of my baseball hats have already sold. This one ended up selling, I had it listed for $34.99 plus shipping, took an offer of $33.99 and ended up netting $21.74 on it. Not too shabby. This Coach silk logo square scarf came in one of my favorite boxes to get from ThredUp, which is a ThredUp scarf box. I took an offer. I had it listed for $39, took an offer for $27 and netted $20.72 on a freaking scarf. Love it. Going back to these snapback hats, listen, I don't care what your belief system is. I am happy to take your money. This new with tags white Lions not cheap baseball hat listed for $39, sold on Poshmark for $39, netted $28.20. Yes, don't think I haven't been back to unclaimed baggage looking for more hat bags, and I have yet to get my hands on any. Let's see here. These Citizens of Humanity Kelly low-cut bootleg jeans. I'm guessing these came in a ThredUp jean box based on the date. They took about a month and a half to sell. I listed them for $39. They sold for $39 on Poshmark and netted me $28.33. This Hello Molly peach dress is the only clothing item so far that sold from my unclaimed. No, I think I've had a couple of clothing items sell now from that unclaimed baggage, but this is the only one that's netted me over 20 bucks. I ended up selling this on Poshmark, had it listed for $39, took an offer of $30 and netted $21. Men's Vineyard Vine slim pants came in a men's ThredUp box. Ended, let's see, had them listed for $29, sold them for $29 plus shipping on eBay, netted $20.91. This very cute floral silk top just screams summertime to me. I found this at Goodwill, ended up paying regular price Goodwill prices for it, which is $4.09, which I do not do often, but it was still new with tags. It looked like it was a TJ Maxx item because it still had a TJ Maxx tag on it, but I just cut that off and said new with tags. It was a beautiful silk top. I listed it for $34. It sold on Poshmark for $34 and I netted $23.01. Lululemon hoodie. Remember when I opened up my men's ThredUp box and I go, oh my gosh, I'm not really sure about Lululemon anymore, and I'm not really sure at all about Lululemon men's. Well, I listed this baby for $49. I ended up taking an offer on eBay of $45.99. That does include the shipping, and I ended up bringing in a total profit of $30.62. This Fashion Nova top, I lied. There are some other items that sold from those unclaimed baggage bags. This was a new with tags Fashion Nova beautiful floral top. Sold it on Poshmark. Had it listed for $39. They bought it for $39. When does that ever happen on Poshmark? I do a happy dance every time a person actually buys something for full price over there. And I ended up netting $28.20. Okay, this is an interesting item. Okay, so that same thrift store where I got the shower curtain, they had some really cool vintage home goods items. And this one is a vintage wherever kebab. So it's a contraption and it looks like it's from the 80s. And it has skewers all in it, and you put the meat and vegetables on the skewers and you plug it in and it rotates and actually makes kebabs. Well, given that my other half is a chef, we had to try it out. So I'll insert a video here if he still has it and I can find it, showing you that it does in fact work. When we examined it, we noticed that 1 or 2 of the skewers were broken. And then we realized that it didn't have the drip tray. Now, that didn't prevent us from using it, but I didn't feel comfortable selling it. So when I started to look at comps, I noticed there were a lot of replacement parts. And I know I've shouted them out before, but if you are not watching them, you need to, because they are full of information, and that is Hustlin Hooks. And they love themselves some home good items, houseware stuff, and they have beat it through my head that when in doubt, part it out, and that is exactly what I did here. So far, I have sold the glass case, and right here it sold for $35.99 and ended up netting me 20 bucks exactly after fees and shipping. And I've also sold the manual, which didn't really make me any money, but I had it and it made me a few bucks. And so now I still have the actual base unit to sell and the skewers. If all goes as planned, I could make upwards to $50 to $70 on this item. That selling brand new with all the parts included is not making that much money. So when in doubt, part it out. Here's a really cool 80s, 90s K-Wise Hawaiian shirt. Same thrift store as the shower curtain and that kababit. Had it listed for $34, took an offer for $30 and netted $20.68. Not too shabby. And I am so happy to see this sell. This is one of my favorite vintage finds. It's just gorgeous. And I've had it since October of last year. So it's been 7-8 months, and it took it to sell, but it's well worth it. So I had it listed for $99. I took an offer with shipping included on eBay for $98.09 and ended up netting $70.21, and it is a gorgeous velvet and tweed maxi rhinestone button long sleeve. Everything about it is very 1950s, just gorgeous. I would, and a big beautiful belt. Ugh, you're gonna have to sit on those vintage items, but when they find the right buyer, man, do they go for a decent price. New with tags, Max Studio polka dot blouse. I believe I found this in the bins. It took a little while to sell, about the same, I think about the same amount of time as that dress did. Had it listed for $29, ended up taking an, nope, looks like I sold it for $29 on eBay and netted $22.35. I guarantee that sold after I redid the listing, given that it took so long to sell. This is a Ralph Lauren pink stripe pajama set. It sold fairly quickly. I had it listed for $34, ended up taking an offer for $36.59 and netted $22.14. But you may see this sell again because it is on its way back to me. If I didn't work so much in customer service throughout my life, my initial reaction would be, read the damn listing before you purchase it and to get all up in arms about it. But being in customer service so much throughout my retail career, it's just easier to take the return and move on. It only took a month or so to sell. I'm sure I'll find another buyer for it. So it's on its way back to me, and you may see this in another resale video. Here's an item that I told you, one of the home good items that came out of my garage, and it is a big ass freezer, and I have had this in my garage for quite some time. Family member, I believe, somebody was cleaning out something and somehow it came to our house. I don't know who was cleaning out what, or if a family member was cleaning out somebody they know stuff, or was at somebody's house doing something and this freezer was there. My other half brought it home thinking that he was going to use it. I'm not really keen on having that much backup for 2 people of food. We didn't end up using it, and we've been talking since the beginning of year about putting this damn thing online and selling it, but I just haven't gone down to the basement to take pictures of it. Well, I went down to the basement to take pictures of it, put it on Facebook Marketplace, and within the next day, this puppy sold for $120. And given it was Facebook Marketplace, came to the house, $120 in my hand. I had it listed for $140. We gave them a deal of $120. The end. That is the testament to, if you are not using it, sell it. I'm telling you. Next up, this 80s Woolrich Grandpa sweater. I got this at Goodwill. Ended up selling within a few months, and it sold for total asking price of $39, and I netted $27.01. And if you've made it this far, you have made it to the last item, and that is these 90s Carhartt wet duck shorts. These, I did end up finding a tag on them. They are from the 90s. They are the B24 wet canvas duck carpenter short. I paid up for these at a local thrift. This was the same weekend I bought those Carhartt overalls, and if you saw my thrift haul, you will know I wasn't quite sure about these because I paid up for them. Well, some of you people told me that they would sell, and damn it, you were right. It took less than a couple of weeks, and these puppies were out the door. I had them listed for $39. I took an offer of $42.09 on eBay, and that includes the shipping price, and I ended up netting $25.24, which to me is pretty amazing given the cost of goods. So again, if you see anything Carhartt out in the wild, pick it up and put it online because it is moving. If you made it through all of this and you didn't fast forward and you didn't use my timestamp and you just sat here and watched me or listened to this whole thing while you were listing, oh my God, I absolutely love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I gotta tell you, if you haven't yet, you have got to go ahead, hit that subscribe button and ring my bell because, I mean, come on, why aren't you subscribed? If you can sit through and tolerate me for over a half an hour, you might as well just subscribe. That way you will be notified every Tuesday or Friday when I upload a new video. If you found this video helpful, useful, informative in any sort of way, shape, or form, please do leave a comment below. I totally enjoy conversing with you guys. I love to hear what's working for you. Whether it's the same as me or not, it is amazing that all of us can have such great success, even though sometimes it's different for each of us. I would love to hear from you. What was your favorite item in this month that sold? I gotta tell you, I want to say that it's the freezer because it brought me in the most money, but I really think it's that gorgeous velvety vintage dress. Gorgeous. That's what it's all about for me. I love that vintage find that costs you barely any money that sells for a ridiculous amount, and to just know that that person is just thrilled to find an item that you're just not gonna find anywhere else. That's the thing I love. What was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love having you all here and I appreciate you so much. I hope you guys have a fantabulous weekend. If your weather is as gorgeous as it is here, make sure you go out and get out and enjoy that sunlight while you can, while the season is kicking. Even if it sucks for the allergies like me, I'm still heading on out there into the mountains, getting my hiking on and enjoying this weather. So I hope you guys do too. Have a fabulous weekend and I will see you on Tuesday with a new video. Bye.